everybody from McMurray District. Here we have with us again the really world famous Dallas Arcand, and he is truly famous all over the world. We are very fortunate to have him. He has won the world champion hoop dancing championships 3 times. Can you imagine that? 3 times. He's an artist, he's a musician, he's an entrepreneur, which means a businessman. And here he is, ready to give us a wonderful hour. Welcome, Dallas, and thank you.
Hello, Tansei, bonjour. Good morning, everybody. And hello. And it's a great honor for me to be here today to share with you some of the songs and dances of our people. And it's a great honor and a privilege to be here in your school district this week to share some Indigenous knowledge. All right. So I'm going to kick things off this morning with a drum song. And I got my drum here, my special drum. And this drum is really important to our culture, to Indigenous people, to all Indigenous people, all people around the world. We all have a drum beat, whether you're from across the water in Africa or whether you're from Europe or anywhere around the world, all cultures have a drum and they have a drum beat. So for Indigenous people, we have a drum song. So whenever we start anything out, like a special event or a powwow or anything like that, we always start off with the drum and the drum song to honor the land, to honor all living things across Turtle Island. And that's what we call North America. Our ancestors have called this Turtle Island because North America, if you look at it, it's in the shape of a turtle. All right, so here we go. Here's the first thing for today, and that's the honor song. And I'm going to sing for you the honor song, an old style honor song, something like this. The honor song. So if you guys are wondering what the honor song is the way that we honor the land, we honor the people, and we honor the experience and all the beautiful living things around the world. We always sing to Mother Earth, and that's the mother of us all, because we are all children of Mother Earth. So it doesn't matter what race you come from or anything like that. We're all connected to the earth in one way or another. So before we even start a powwow or anything like that, we always start off with that honor song, the drum song, and that's how we start things out in our culture. So I come to you from the Alexander First Nation. We are a part of Treaty 6. So this is our logo from Alexander First Nation. That's our that would be considered our flag, I guess. That's what you'd see on our flag for Alexander First Nation. And every nation has a flag. So I just thought I would share that with you guys this morning and where I come from. Even my t-shirt, it says Alexander First Nation on there. I'm very proud to wear my nation colors and my nation flag. So, all right. So the first thing we're going to do this morning is I want you guys to get up out of your seats, and it's morning time. So it's time for us to get up and dance and have a little fun. So I have a program that I actually did online throughout this whole pandemic. I've been helping people like yourselves and many other like elders, children, everybody, and getting up and dance and getting moving and exercising with a program I call Powwow Dance Aerobics. So what Powwow Dance Aerobics is basically we're doing powwow style dancing by moving our feet, moving our body. And this is the basic step of powwow. So it's right, left, 1, 2 step. So you see my feet, they're just going like that. Right, left, 1, 2 step. And also when you're moving your feet, your hands should be moving as well. And it's a total body workout. It's a total body workout for your mind, for your body, for your soul, because you're using your mind to capture the beat with your feet and your body and the rhythm and everything like that. So it takes a lot of concentration, a lot of focus to be a dancer, to be engaged, and to dance to the beat. So I'm just showing you right now the basic steps, and I'm going to play the drum beat right now. Thanks to technology, I'm able to have a drum group here today. The Young Bear Singers, they are some good friends of mine. So let's get our feet moving like this just to get used to that beat. And then also we're going to move our hands like this. So this is the rhythm. This is a pulsating rhythm. It's a pulsating rhythm because it pulsates to the beat, much like a heart pulsates when your heart, for example, it pulsates to keep the blood flowing. It pumps blood through your body. And same thing with the drum. The drum imitates that. That's why we call it the heartbeat drum. When the singers beat on that drum and they sing, and that's what we're doing. We're pulsating like the heart to the heartbeat drum while we dance like that. And we're gonna get into some more dancing. So that's the basic step like that. And then we're gonna do a basic step up where you hop to the beat like that, just like that. All right. And then we're gonna do a couple of little different moves that will help exercise different parts of your body. So you don't have to be a powwow dancer to do this. And if you are a powwow dancer, I definitely recommend doing this because it will help you to keep your moves sharp and to keep you in shape and everything like that. So without further ado, here we go. I'm going to play the first song by the Young Bear Singers. So just follow along as we dance to the beat of the drum. So here we go. Here's the very first song. So I got my little speaker here. All right, we're good to go. Basic step. Back, left, 1, 2 step. Go. Around. Circle. Figure 8. Very good. All right, now let's put some bounce into our step. All right, let's do some circles. Same step. right. So that was the very first song for you. And I wanted to explain to you guys, you guys probably wondered, how did he end when the song ended? Now I'm going to explain to you that our songs, they have structure. And almost every, I guarantee you, 99.9% of every powwow dancer knows when to stop. And they know the structure, the basic structure of our music. So I'm gonna simplify it for you. So it comes in fours, just like the four seasons, just like the four directions of Mother Earth. Our music is in fours as well. So everything about our culture is in fours. We have the four directions of Mother Earth. We have the four seasons, which are uh, spring, which we're in spring right now, and approaching is summer. And then after summer is fall, and then winter. So that's the best way to remember our style of music and how it works, and our style of drumming and dancing. And knowing this will definitely engage you more into the song. And the more you know about it, the more connected you are to it. So I'm going to run through the song that we just heard just to show you what I mean. For example, for example, how the four structure works in their song is the lead singer, one singer out of the group. There's usually about a group of 10, about 10 singers. They sit around the big drum and they sing. So the just one singer will sing the lead. So that's the first part. That's number one. So the second part is the pickup, and that's where the rest of the group will repeat what that lead singer sang. So they'll repeat that melody that lead singer sang. And then part three of the song structure is they will do what you call is verse one. So that's the third part of our style. And the second part, or I mean the fourth part, which is the second verse, which is part four, and that's repeated. So that's the structure. So you have part one, lead, pickup, verse one, and verse two. And what they do in the song is they repeat that four times. So I want you to listen now and use your good listening ears to listen for that structure. And I'm going to point out that to you as we're listening to the song. So from here on out, you guys are going to know. And anytime you hear a powwow song, you're going to know, oh, that's four. That it's got a four structure. I know that. I know that. I was told that. Dallas shared that with me, and I just thought I would share that with you guys. So here we go. I'm going to play the song again, and I'm going to dance to it as well. So here's the first start, the start of the song. Okay. First verse. And then honor beat. Now, this is the second part, second lead. First part, second lead. The verse. Second verse. So we're on number two right now. Now, lead, third start. Pick up. Verse. Second verse. R&B. Now, fourth start. Lead. Pick up. Verse. Second verse. Now here we're going to end it. So there you go. So that's how it's broken down, and that's how you know the structure of the song broken down. So this side, I was counting the so they repeat that pattern 4 times. So they repeat the 4 pattern 4 times, which is lead, pickup, verse 1, verse 2. So they repeat that 4 times. So that's the structure of our songs, and that's how the dancers know when to dance. That's how they know when to do their best moves, and that's how they know to engage with the rhythm and the rhythm of the song. So I want to share with you another instrument here because I don't have much time and I want to share as much as I can. So in the beginning, I started out with a drum song, and we did a little warm up dance now. So now I'd like to share with you one of our instruments known as the flute. This is the wooden flute. This is our style of flute. So it's very different from any other flute in the world. Indigenous flutes are very, very different because we have the bird and we have the 6 holes, and it's made completely out of wood. So these are made by our ancestors long, long time ago, and these have been passed on from generation to generation. This the same concept of the flute. So, like I said, every culture has their own version of the flute. Like for example, in South America, they have the pan flute where there's multiple chambers cut at different levels, and they blow into it, and it's very different. And in the desert, the desert type of tribe people, they have what you call clay flutes, and even overseas they have different flutes. You know, different cultures around the world, they have different flutes. I know in your school you guys have recorders. Those are very different. And then in classical music they have the steel flute where you kind of blow into it sideways like this. So this one is just direct, you blow into it. So how this works is it's actually got 2 parts, actually 3 parts. So it's got the blowhole where you blow the air in, and it hits the bird, and it goes through a chamber and comes back up. And then over these 6 holes is the melody notes. That's where you're able to change the notes and the tones of the flute. And what's cool about our flutes is that they're in a pentatonic scale. So if you know anything about music, or if you study music and you know about different scales and music, these scales are important, and that's what makes melodies in music. And that's how like if you're playing a melody like twinkle twinkle little star, if you're playing that, everybody knows that melody, or happy birthday to you. So there you go. So it's just knowing these melodies, and that's how you create melodies in these scales, and it's really, really important. So the flute, for example, has its own scale, and the cool thing about our flutes is that they can imitate any bird sound in the world. That's what I love about our flutes, is that they sound so beautiful and they sound like nature. So I'm going to play you guys a song now. I'm going to play the Mother Earth song, and this song is a song that I created when I first started playing flute, because I sat for many, many hours studying the flute and learning to play it, and I put in the time and the effort, and that's just how it goes. Like, if you want to be good at anything, you have to put in the time, you have to put in the effort to make it happen. So here's the Mother Earth song I'm going to play for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Here we go. All right. So that was the Mother Earth song that I just played for you. And when I think about that song, I always think about the heartbeat. There's a beat in my head that I play to. It's that dum 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 dum, and that's the heartbeat of our drum, and that's our style of drumming and in our culture and where we come from. I come from Cree country, and there's a lot of Cree traditions that we follow. So, anyways, I've got another flute here before we go into the next part of the program, in which I want to show you guys some other things. So this is a different flute altogether. You can see the difference in size. It's quite a significant difference. This is my bigger flute, and it's made from a different wood. This one's like a lighter wood. It's super light. It's like really almost delicate. You can almost like squeeze it and break it. So you don't want to do that though. So, anyways, this one is it's very hard wood. This is made from ironwood, and this was a flute that was gifted to me by a dear friend of mine, and I'm very grateful for this flute. So this is a flute in a totally different musical key and everything, but it still has the same principle. You know, you blow into the chamber and it hits the bird. This one's not in the shape of a bird. It's just a special piece that was designed to sit on top of the flute, goes over here, goes to the musical notes. Now, the difference between this one and the other one is it's actually a double barrel flute. So it's got two chambers. So it's got the melody chamber and it's got the drone note chamber. So this plays one consistent note, and together you can play the notes together to play different ways and to make different sounds. So I wanted to share a song with you that I made with this flute, and the song is actually a song that was inspired to me by the sun, and the sun is what gives us all life as human beings, animals, plants, everything, insects. The sun helps life on earth. It helps with photosynthesis. The sun helps give us life. It gives us light. It gives us warmth. It gives us everything that we need to survive on earth. So I created an honor song for the sun, and in our language we call it pisim. So that's the Cree word for the day. So remember that word. If you ever hear that word, you'll know in the Cree language that the word pisim, Pisim, pisim stands for the sun. So here's the song pisim, and it's actually one song that's off of one of my CDs. You can find it. You can find me online on I think it's on Apple Music if you have Apple Music, or if you, what's that other program called? I It's on all the different musical programs. Spotify, I believe. It's on a couple of different programs. I have six CDs. I have six albums. Four of them are flute, and I'm currently working on another album. So, anyways, I just thought I would share that with you. So here's the song "Peace Sim." All right. So there you go. There's the song "Peace Sim." It's actually a longer song, but I kind of shortened it today so I can squeeze in a little bit more stuff with you guys today. So in the introduction, it was stated I also have a traditional name. So I have like a regular name that everybody calls me by, Dallas. Okay, everybody knows me. But I also have a traditional name that comes from my culture, and that's very important to who I am as an indigenous person. To have that name, to have that traditional name is very, very important to who I am. So that's what this symbolizes my name. So it symbolizes the buffalo. So you have the buffalo here, and we also have the four colors on here. So my name in the Cree language is Nimito Pasqua Musto Snapio. Now don't worry about memorizing that. That basically translates to dancing buffalo man. So again on here, here's the four feathers to represent for the four directions, the four colors. So that's very important to our way of life and to understand and to be in balance with that. So I just thought I would share that little bit of information. Now, I know that we had a chance to warm up there earlier, so I want to do one more song with you guys to to get things going on. I gotta find the right song here. So let's see. Oh, that's a little bit longer song. Okay, let me just find the right song here so we can. That one's kind of hoppy. Okay, so we'll do this one maybe. Okay, so anyways, I want to dance to one more song with you just to get you guys moving again. So I want you guys to get up now out of your seats and let's do one more song. Then we're gonna do a stretch. So I want to express stretching. It's really important. And even though you guys are just young, you guys are like grade 3, grade 4, elementary. This is a good thing to practice throughout your whole life because you're gonna live a good life. You want to be strong. You want to be healthy in the future. This is good practice to start learning now, and then you take this into your teenage years, into your adult years, and eventually your elder years, because you want to be taking care of yourself, because nobody can take care of yourself better than you, and only you can do that. Okay, so here we go. Let's do a song. Let's dance. All right. Step. Left. 1, 2 step. Right, one leg. Good. Good. Right, hands on your hips. And shuffle. All right, heel toe. And switch. Now let's twist. Now we're gonna have our hands up here. And right, left, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, good stuff. All right. So that was a good way to get the heart going and maybe get a little sweat rolling off of you. That's good because when you sweat, you release the toxins in your body. And that's the best way to flush out any toxic stuff in your body. And sweating is good. And that's why we have a ceremony in our culture called the sweat lodge ceremony. And a lot of our people still practice that today. We even have young kids like yourself come into the sweat lodge, you know, and these young kids, they're very, very honored spirits because everybody has a spirit. And we always think of it that way in our culture. And young people are like yourselves, they're very, very honored. And it might be scary to come into a sweat lodge because it's very dark in there. And it can be scary, but uh, it's nothing to fear. It's definitely something to indulge, and to be welcomed, and to be honored to be part of. And and there's nothing scary about it. All we do is we sit there in the sweat lodge. It's like being in the womb of your mother. You know, before you're even born. That's basically the symbol of the sweat lodge. It's basically a dome that is on the earth. So it's the womb of Mother Earth. So when we sit in there, we sing songs and we say prayers and we feel the heat from the rocks. So that's very different experience altogether. So I just thought I would share that with you and explain to you guys a little bit about that. So now I would like to invite you guys to do a little stretch with me. Now that we've warmed up our muscles, and any workout program, you always want to do this. You always want to have five main key components. You always want to warm up first, and then after you warm up, you want to stretch. And after you stretch, maybe do some strength training, like lift some weights, do some push-ups, or do some strength training activities. And then also, you also for the other part of the workout program, you also want to have what you have is a peak performance. So you want to push yourself a little bit once you've warmed up and stretched and everything like that. You want to push yourself to get your target heart rate up. And also the last part of the workout is the cool down. So part 5 is always the cool down. You always want to cool down after a good workout. So anyways, let's get started with some stretches. So we're going to start off with our wrists like this, just to stretch out those tendons, because you have tendons inside of your wrists and it's a joint. So it's good to release some of that tension that's inside of your joints here. And you might even do these stretches if you play soccer or hockey or baseball or any one of those sports. So it's good. Even if you're not there with your coach, you should still be doing these activities every day because it's going to benefit you in the long run. You're going to have a healthy body. You're going to be disciplined. You're going to be in shape. You're going to feel good and you're going to look good. So that's the key of it all. So no matter what you do, you know, self-love and self-care is the best thing you can give yourself. So anyways, I'm stretching out the tricep muscle right now. So I'm just pulling my arm in. I'm leaving my arm straight, pulling it into my chest. So it kind of looks like an elephant trunk like this. See? Looks like an elephant trunk. So there. So you just got to let your trunk hang there and stretch that out. It stretches your shoulder and your tricep muscle right there. Okay, so next we're moving on to this stretch. Put your hands together. Try to pull them apart, but don't actually pull them apart. And you can feel that stretch in your shoulders, your upper back, and just give it a slight twist like this, left to right. Nice and easy. Twist up that core. Oh, and if you hear or feel a snap in your back, don't worry, it's not breaking. Your joints are just realigning themselves, so don't worry about that at all. It's not going to hurt you. It's going to help you to straighten your alignment in your body. So the next one we're going to do is the neck. So just let the weight of your head do this one. You don't need to force it. Just let the weight of your head stretch this out, because they say that your head weighs about as much as a pumpkin. So let your pumpkin do the work. So now chin into your chest and let the weight of your head stretch. And now we're going to roll from left to right like this. Roll from left to right. And notice how I don't go backwards, because your neck's not meant to go back like that. So that's why I don't do that stretch. So anyways, put your hand on your shoulder. Now lean away from it And this will give you a shoulder, deltoid, and neck stretch. 3 muscles at once just by putting your hand there. It changes the orientation of your muscles and how you stretch them. So there you go. That's the basics for the upper body. Now, this one's really important too. This will help stretch your core and your spine and everything like that by putting your hands like this. You go from left to right. Just a nice twist like that. Don't need to force it. And you'll feel the stretch of your body, and your body needs that every day. So then you lean forward, and same thing. Let that stretch. Oh yeah, that feels good. And now lean backwards and allow the variation of the stretch to happen now. Okay, so that's basically the upper body stretches. Now let's do some lower body stretches. So we're doing the same thing we did with our wrists, but now with our ankles. So just do some circles in both directions. This helps to release any tension that you might have in your ankles, because as human beings, that's the most stress and strain and pressure that we take is on our ankles. And this will help you, if you do this every day before you start your day, it'll prevent you from having any injuries. So for example, if you're running, playing at the park, and you step funny, this will help prevent you from spraining your ankle. And even if you do sprain your ankle, it won't be as bad because you've prepared for it. It's like one of the great prophets I've heard in my time, the great Aristotle. He once said, success depends on prior preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. So just remember that quote. I don't know if I'm too far ahead of myself with that. So A, B, P, always be prepared. Always be prepared. So, you always want to prepare yourself. You want to plan ahead. So this is a good thing to do every day. Even if you guys are kids now, definitely continue this on throughout your whole life. Or remember, someday you're going to remember these teachings like, oh yeah, I think that Dallas guy was right, because we got to take care of our bodies, because you only have one body, right? We're not robots. You can't just put a little oil and grease and tighten things up. No, you've got to do that by exercising every day. And that's how I've been able to persevere as a world champion. And that's how I've been able to thrive and strive in my career as a dancer and everything like that. So anyways, I'm just finishing off my stretches now. These are something I do every single day. This is what keeps me in shape, because I'm probably old as or older than most of your parents, because I'm 42 years old. So I might be even older than your mom and dad. Maybe. I'm not too sure. But this is what keeps me in shape. This is what keeps me fit. That's how I'm able to dance and do the things I do the things I love. So anyways, I'm going to go through some more things here. I wanted to show you the evolution of the outfits that we wear. So traditionally, these are traditional moccasins that I have here. This is what our people wear. They're moccasin wraps. So they basically just wrap around, and they're like a high top. And these are kind of fancy version. This would probably be what a chief would wear, like back in the day, like way back in the day, way before Christopher Columbus, or way before John and Canada. It's John Cabot. John Cabot was the very first European explorer that landed in Newfoundland. FYI, so that I let you know. So anyways, these are fancy. Like back in the day, they didn't really have these fancy beads on them and stuff like that. Some people did, some people didn't, because it was all about efficiency back in those days. So today we wear beadwork because we don't have to walk so much in the mud anymore, and swamps or anything like that. So these are kind of a practical everyday moccasins. Now these are my dancing moccasins, and they're very, very different from those. These are just like a regular sneaker or whatever. Now the difference between these and regular moccasins is these are kind of a hybrid, because I don't always dance on the grass or on the earth. Sometimes I've got to dance on cement, or sometimes I got to dance on asphalt, on pavement, or sometimes I got to dance in like an unnatural environment, so to speak, or like little bit different environment than it's intended for, because these are only intended to dance on the grass. Now, what I've had to do is I had to be creative and innovative native, basically, to create mocha shoes. So I've made it half shoe and half moccasin. So these are my hybrid mocha shoes. So inside of them, I have an insole. I've got a special insole that prevents me from injuring my feet or hurting my feet. So this is what keeps me dancing straight and dancing good. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. And these are my other versions of mocha shoes. These are kind of the same idea, but you know, same thing. It's half moccasin, half shoe. I call them mocha shoes 2000s. Okay. So, anyways, it's got some lovely beadwork. All my mocha shoes have beadwork on them, and the beadwork is part of the design of our outfits. I have a lot of beadwork. So these are basically my cuffs. These go over my arm like this, and I basically fasten them, and they're part of my outfit and my design. And I wear one on each side. So here's on the other side. So that's for that. And I just thought I would show and share with you. So these are basically, this one would be a necktie. This is something I wear around my neck as part of my outfit. And as well, I have different, these are part of my leggings. These sit right about here. And they're basically my legging covers. Because my leggings are fringes. I wear fringes. And it's a lot of layers in my outfit. There's a lot of different layers. So for example, here's the belt. This one sits over my outfit. It sits right about here, and it sits on my outfit. And when I dance, all these beautiful fringes just flare out, and it's very beautiful when it comes to life. It's like your outfit, when you put it on, it has a life of its own. So I just thought I'd share that with you a little bit about the outfits and the different outfits. So for example, I'm also a fancy dancer. So I do fancy dancing as well. So I'm a hoop dancer and a fancy dancer. Fancy dance is one of the 4 men's dances of powwows. There's 4 different main men's dances that are a regular part of powwow. So they have men's fancy, which is one of the dance. I don't have my full outfit today, but I'm just showing you some of the pieces and the differences of the pieces that I wear for my outfit. So when I dance fancy, I wear these big, bright, beautiful feathers. I wear 2 sets, one on the back and one on the upper back. And there's a lot of fringes that flare out. And this is not something I would wear for hoop dancing. So these are our fancy dance whips. So when you dance, you're whipping these around. And it's part of the dance, right? It's part of the fancy moves that you do with the whips, right? When you dance, you're making these whips move, you're making the entire outfit move. So it takes a lot of energy to do that. So anyways, I just thought I would share that with you. So these are really long because it's for fancy dance, right? So when I dance, they flare out like this. Everything, the whole outfit moves. You have to be able to move your outfit. Now, this is the headband that I wear for hoop dancing. It's very, very different. It's got no fringes, and it just sits on my head like this. And see, I've got some beadwork right around here, and I have nothing hanging off of here, because if I had stuff hanging, I wouldn't be able to hoop dance properly. So for example, when I dance with my hoops, I want to make sure that I don't have anything hanging off of me, because if I did, then it would make it so hard and so difficult to move around and do my tricks with the hoops and do the different tricks that I do with the hoops. For example, you know, there's quite a few different tricks that we do as hoop dancers, that you need to have full functionality with the hoops and be able to move and groove through these hoops. So there you go. There's the hoops. And bust this apart now just so I can share with you the different versions of the hoops. Now, for example, I have a couple of different styles of hoops here. Now, our ancestors, when they first started hoop dancing, they say that the hoop dance is nearly 1,200 years old. So it's a really old dance that was done by our ancestors here in North America. And originally, it wasn't the dance that it is today. Originally, it was a ceremony. And each dance comes from a ceremony, a ceremonial background. So even though we do today, we do showcase our dances and share our dances. We share them in a good way. We share them to educate people, to showcase our culture, to share our culture with different people in the world. Now, these are the original hoops. So these are very different from the modern hoops that we have. So this original hoop is made from red willow. And as you can see, there's a joint here where the two pieces of wood meet and they join and they couple in like that. And then they just attach. And traditionally we would use sap, which is from like a spruce tree or a pine tree. You'd use sap because sap is like really, really sticky. And also we've wrapped them in sinew. Sinew basically is that come from the animal. So when we, for example, when we hunt animals like the moose or the deer or the buffalo or anything like that, we use every single thing of the animal. We use the bones, we use the hide, we use the hair, we use definitely use the meat. We use everything, all the bones. We make tools out of them. We make bone marrow broth out of them, which is really good for the health. It's really good and healthy for you. Anytime you have soup, always know that in that soup there's nutrients such as bone marrow, which is boiled down bones from different animals. So whether it's a wild animal or a domesticated animal, it's very, very different. So just always understand that and know about your food. So just know that about our traditions as Indigenous people. So these hoops are very different. So these are not bendable. They're very delicate and temperamental. So they're very different to dance with. Like I would not dance the same with these as I would with with these modern hoops. So these modern hoops that I have here, they're very different because they're made out of plastic. So these are the modern hoops. They're very, very flexible, and it's a different way of dancing and joining. So a lot of today's hoop dancers, like at the World Championships and so on and so forth, they use these modern plastic hoops, and they're basically just a plastic pipe. You can get these pipes anywhere. You can get them at any hardware store, and basically, and there's even fancier stuff like you can order stuff from hula hoop websites online. You can go online or you can go into the dollar store that they have hoops, but these are more durable. Like it's a thicker plastic. They don't bend. They don't kink, and they don't break that easy. So that's why I like using these. And they're joined together with a wooden dowel piece right here. This is the joint. You can kind of see the crease there. That's where the two parts meet. And inside of there's a little piece of wood that joins them together. So that's how these are joined together. And so these are used a lot differently than how we would use. So this is basically the bare hoop itself. And this is how they look after we decorate them with tape. We use some nice hoop tape. This one's very soft tape. So we use different tape to decorate them with our colors, to match our outfit, to match our dance, our style, and everything like that. So I think I've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to say now, and I kind of want to over a little bit by a couple of minutes. So now I'd like to open up things for questions. If you guys have any questions that I want to use the rest of the class time now, and we have about 10 minutes left for questions. So if you guys have any questions you'd like to ask me, I would like to invite you guys now, like questions or comments, anything I didn't cover that you want to know, that you're curious about. Definitely, it's open. And thankfully, we have this virtual classroom in which, I'm over here in British Columbia. I'm in Kelowna, British Columbia. Did you guys know that? I'm not even in Alexander right now because I've been down here now for the past little while. I'm working on some music projects down here. I have decided to take a vacation away from my home. It's not really a vacation because my daughter lives over here and it's her traditional territory. So this is the traditional territory of the Okanagan people. And this is my second home away from home. So anyways, open for questions now. So whenever you guys are ready.
Yes, I'm ready, Miguel. I'm just hunting for this sheet with all the questions on it. Can you pop it to me?
Hi, Shirley. It should be in your email. It should say link for Dallas questions.
Thank you.
No problem.
The first question I've got, though, is how have you, Dallas, relied on others to help you achieve your success and everything else you've achieved. Have others helped you along the way?
Yeah, most definitely. When I was just starting out, I was really young, and I had elders and mentors guide me. And part of it too is because I asked for help, and that's the old saying that that it goes across different cultures and different things, like different areas of expertise. So whenever you're not sure about something, never be afraid to ask for help. So that doesn't just mean if you're in trouble, ask for help. I mean, like, if you have something you want to do in life, just always stay on the path and the direction of the thing that you want the most. And when you stay on path, everything will come into place, and it's a way of manifesting something. So if you're focused on something that you want, you can basically get it. Now, I don't mean just materialistic stuff. I mean like goals in life. If you want to be good at something, or if you have a dream, just stick to it. Stay focused to it. Don't go too far off the path. So always stay on that path, and help will come. People will help you along the way. You will find like-minded people when you're on that path.
Thank you. So we've got a couple of comments which I'm going to read, and the first one is, "Oh, cool, he's back tomorrow." And someone says, "No questions, but nice dance." And then the next question is, "What is your favorite season?"
Um, I'd have to say summer, because I get to go on the water. I enjoy boating, and there's also powwow. But I also like winter too, because it's cool. Like, so I like where I'm at. Like, I like the balance of seasons, like the fact that we have four seasons. Sometimes I don't like spring because of the mud, but it just depends, like, where you're at and how you're living. And I like the fall time, because it's a good time for of the year, when the leaves change. And it's also a good time for hunting. That's when things cool off, and it's easier to go hunting and go out in the woods. And also, that's the best time to harvest berries, is at the end of summer, beginning of fall. You get the best, sweetest berries then. That's when the berries are ready. So whether you're picking Saskatoon's blueberries, or if you're in BC here, they have huckleberries, or where I come from, we have raspberries, gooseberries, all kinds of stuff, and chokeberries. So it's berry season. So every season has its perks, but definitely my favorite is summer, because I like going out on the water. I like going out on the boat, and just enjoying the water. It's so relaxing and beautiful. So that's just me though. So thanks for the question.
Thank you. What a lovely answer. Uh, this one, Leah says, "Do you do competitions?"
Yes, actually, I do. So there's two types of powwows, and there's the competition powwow, which dancers will compete for the top five prizes. So there could be 20, maybe 40, maybe even 60 dancers in one category. And the categories in powwows are separated by age. So, for example, they have the youth division, which is from 6 years old to 12 years old. And then they have the teen division, which is 13 to 17, and then there's the adult division, which is 18 to 39 or 40. And then there's the senior adult division, which is 40 to 50 years old. And then once you get past 50, then they have the golden age category, and that's where our elders compete. And every dance category, men's and women, it's separated by men and women, and by style, and by age. So those are the competition. So, for example, in powwow, they have four different men's dances. So there's the fancy, grass, traditional, and chicken. And then for the ladies, it's jingle, traditional, and fancy shawl. And that's very different. Now, as for hoop dancing, it's not necessarily part of powwows. Uh, hoop dancing has its own competition. So at a powwow, some people will have a hoop dance special where they create a special category just for hoop dancing. Now, the hoop dancing where I obtained my title for World Championship, that's a special place in Phoenix, Arizona, where they have a special event that they put on every year specifically for the world title of hoop dancing for the world's best hoop dancer to win, and that's the competition. So the competitions are vary. It's not the same as everybody else. You know, unfortunately, it's not like the Olympics or anything like that. You train 4 years and you go to the competition. They should make the hoop dance part of the Olympics, is what I say, because it is like being an Olympian to be a hoop dancer. Now, the other type of dancing that we do have, we have non-competition dancing, which is our traditional powwow. So there's two types of powwows. I just explained the competition powwow, and then there's also the traditional powwow. The traditional powwow, there's no competition there. Everybody gets paid the same, and it's not necessarily about getting paid. It's just giving them an honorarium to feed them for their dancing for the day. So basically, typically an adult would be given like 30-40 bucks, and that's basically gives them some incentive to dance. Like traditionally, it wouldn't be done with money. It would be done with food. They would be given food or gifts or something like that. So things have changed with the monetary system. So that was a very good question, by the way, because it prompted me to share a lot of information that I think is very important in understanding our culture. Thank you.
That is very important. But I do know that, Dallas, you have danced at the Olympics, pre-Olympics, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I it's that a bunch of different Olympics and sporting events. And before the pandemic, I was supposed to actually dance at the North American Indigenous Games, and it was supposed to be in Halifax. But when the pandemic hit, they canceled all events, and I didn't get a chance to dance there this year.
Wow. Well, we're so glad you're able to dance for us from your apartment. We've got another question here that says, first of all, I'll put two questions together. The one says, what is your favorite piece of clothing? And the other one says, don't you get hot in all of that?
My favorite piece of clothing. Well, I'm a hat guy, so I have like lots of hats. So here's one hat, and then when I'm doing my gardening, I wear this hat because it keeps me safe from the sun. So I wear this hat because I'm gardening and I'm working on the garden, and it keeps me shaded. And I wear this hat, like when I'm riding my bike or when I'm out, because I don't like my hair to fly everywhere, and I like hats. Hats is definitely one of my favorite pieces of clothing. But I also like wearing nice sweaters. Like for example, this is my social distance powwow sweater that was gifted to me, and it has some very beautiful art design on there. And again, it has the four directions on there, like what I explained. And this is one of my favorite sweaters to wear. I wear this when I do my powwow dance aerobics because I like to wear it to keep in my heat so I can sweat. And that's all dancers sweat when they dance, and so like I said before, it's just part of movement of dancing. It's like jogging or exercising, and it's a great way to exercise and to share. So hopefully that answers you guys' questions.
I think that's a pretty informative answer. Now, here's quite a profound question. Have you earned any rewards for your dancing or music? And I'm not sure it only means money. How would you answer that one?
Yeah, I've been recognized in different ways as a dancer. I've been recognized by my community, by Alexander First Nation. The chief and council have recognized me as an artist, as a dancer, and I've also been recognized as a role model in the performing arts in Alberta. And also the Alberta provincial government sent me a notice saying that they recognize me as an artist, as a contributor to society, and as a professional artist. They've recognized me as that being a profession, and there was no money involved. It was just all about recognition and sharing that, and then giving this beautiful medallion. It was gifted to me as for honoring what I do, and so I've been honored in very different ways and recognized in different ways as an artist. Now, as for a musician, I've earned many different awards for my music. Like, for example, I've been given the Indigenous Music Award for best album. I've been awarded different awards for my flute albums, and currently, right now, I'm in a contest that goes all across Canada. And if you guys know CBC, right? You guys know CBC. They have a contest called CBC Searchlight. So if you and your parents can kindly please go to CBC Searchlight, search Dallas Arcand, you'll see that I'm in a contest, and I need your guys' vote. So all Fort McMurray School District, vote me in there and help me get into at least the top 100, because there's 2,500 artists all across Canada that are trying for this, and I believe I paid my dues, and I believe that I have good potential to do that. But definitely it all starts with the support from the people. So I always appreciate that. So if you can, go to CBC Searchlight and type in Dallas Arcand, and definitely send me a vote. And that's the best way to compliment an artist, is to support them. So thank you.
Right. CBC Searchlight it is, and every single one of us is going to vote for you, Dallas.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for today. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, well, thanks, guys, and we'll see you again some other day. There's no word for goodbye in our language. We say "kipa pumpkin," which means we'll see you again, because there's no word for goodbye. Only see you later. So take care, guys.
We'll see you later.